Hello, this is a talk about smoking and vaping and about cessation of tobacco product use. Electronic cigarettes include nicotine, flavorings, and other components that are heated and inhaled as a complex vapor. These products are not approved by the FDA for smoking cessation. Many people who say that they have successfully quit smoking thanks to the use of e-cigarettes continue to use e-cigarettes, which means that their addiction has continued and that they are at high risk for relapse to regular smoking and to ongoing use of both kinds of products. We have a Center for Research on Flavored Tobacco Products. We're studying the toxicity of e-cigarettes, the types of behavior that people can be observed having when they vape, the health effects of vaping, and all the communication that goes around marketing e-cigarettes and the messaging that people give each other. At one of our laboratories at the University of Rochester Medical Center, we've recorded a video of how we study the toxicants or the poisons that are in vaping. You can either play this video now, or I'll repeat this slide at the end, and you can play it at the end of the show. Here is a word cloud added from our compilation of local social media posts, such as on Facebook. Vape shops use advertisements specifically geared towards access, affordability, education, community development, and the concept of relaxation in order to draw in and retain potential customers. The tobacco industries support the misconception that e-cigarettes deliver nicotine in a harmless, or at least less harmful, vapor. Research shows that the unregulated types and amounts of known carcinogens and toxicants in these products is alarming. Like traditional secondhand and third-hand smoke, the amount of toxicants in second and third-hand vapor is both measurable and harmful. E-cigarettes are not regulated, including the many chemicals found in the flavorings. The products are designed to be pleasant, which means a more successful delivery of the highly addictive nicotine. Companies are using food additives like glycerin and glycerol, which were not tested for their impact on lungs. Most vaping is being shown to be toxic to the cells in the lungs, meaning they are directly and permanently damaging the lungs' ability to exchange air. Because of this, many states are beginning to implement bans on flavored vape products. For specific updated information on which chemicals have been evaluated along with results, you can check out this database by clicking on the link eliquidinfo.org. Here's a list of some of the chemicals in tobacco smoke. One of the reasons dangerous chemicals like ammonia and formaldehyde are added to the processed tobacco is that it decreases the pH of the buccal membrane in the human mouth and throat. This allows nicotine to absorb into the system faster, which provides more impact of the nicotine, leading to earlier and stronger addiction profiles. Adding flavors such as menthol and the wide variety of flavors that are found in both cigarettes and e-cigarettes also serves to make the inhalation experience less harsh and the nicotine delivery more intense. The FDA and National Institutes of Health are funding studies like ours to find out just what is in vaping liquid. Research is rapidly expanding, but has already identified cancer-causing chemicals, toxic ingredients, and chemicals used to produce a wide variety of flavors. Adding flavors, including menthol, serves to make the experience less harsh. This encourages more use and therefore more successful delivery of nicotine. Tobacco use affects every system in the body. It's responsible for or contributes to many types of cancer and to chronic diseases such as cardiovascular disease, pneumonia, bone fractures, and lung disorders. Teenagers and young adults are currently being hospitalized for vaping products that often, although not always, include added chemicals such as CBD oil or vitamin E oil. Vaping, especially with these additives, causes a chemical reaction in the lungs that sets off a massive inflammatory process, making it difficult to impossible to breathe over the course of a few days or a few weeks. This further emphasizes that while something might be safe to eat or put on your skin, that does not mean it's safe to go into your lungs. Inflammation in the lungs, caused by vaping or smoking, changes the biology of the cells in the lungs, doubling the impact that COVID-19 has on the body. People who vape or smoke are twice as likely to feel sick, twice as likely to have a severe illness, and twice as likely to die from a COVID-19 infection. Nicotine products are designed to be addictive. Now I will describe strategies that have been shown to be effective in helping people break their addiction to nicotine. This is a graph of the trans-theoretical model of behavior change, or the stages of change. When someone changes their behavior, whether it's starting a new behavior, changing an existing behavior, or stopping a behavior, people go through these stages. They may even cycle through these stages many times. Someone in pre-contemplation is not ready to change. When they do decide that they should change their behavior, just not now, they are said to be in contemplation. When ready to definitely make a change, they are in preparation. The action phase is when they actually make the behavioral change. After the change, at 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, etc., persons may be very vulnerable to relapse. So the maintenance phase is when they have changed their behavior successfully without relapses. People often recycle through these stages of change over and over again until the change sticks. The point is to keep trying. Tobacco dependence is considered a chronic disease by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. It's a long-term disorder. It has periods of relapse and remission, which require a chronic care model rather than an acute care approach. Although either alone is effective, the combination of counseling and smoking cessation medications is the most effective strategy for smoking cessation. Telephone quit lines, such as the New York State Smokers Quit Line, provide free confidential counseling for persons wanting to stop tobacco and e-cigarette use. Every state in the United States provides access to free quit line services, which have demonstrated evidence-based successful abstinence from nicotine dependence. Quit lines all have associated quit sites, which are website platforms that provide a variety of counseling and information strategies such as text to quit, mobile interventions, educational videos, access to smoking cessation medication, and more. In the spring of 2020, our team looked at websites in the US and Canada that belong to the North American Quit Line Consortium, which has one scientifically valid website for tobacco cessation for each state in the US and each province in Canada. The colored bars indicate which type of information was available. We are currently repeating this study and have observed that websites are increasing the amount and types of information about vaping, including the very important advice for e-cigarette users to talk to their doctor about how to quit vaping. In another of our studies looking at all available websites, we observed that despite the helpfulness of quit websites for tobacco users and the likelihood of teenagers using the internet for information about vaping cessation, only 60% of them included information about the potential harms of vaping, and only 31% of them included information to help with vaping cessation. As you may expect, information about COVID-19 and vaping was observed and is expected to rise. Here's a graph that shows the philosophy of nicotine replacement therapy, which is to maintain addiction while working on breaking the habit. The red line represents the blood nicotine level caused by smoking. See that it goes up and down throughout the day? The green line represents the average of that, the blood nicotine level from a person smoking throughout the day, on average. The blue line represents the blood nicotine level provided by nicotine replacement therapy. If a person achieves a blood nicotine level that provides them with comfort while not having withdrawal symptoms, they'll be more successful with their behavioral strategies. If the blood nicotine level from nicotine medication is at least 2/3 of a person's typical baseline blood nicotine level from smoking, they can avoid withdrawal symptoms and cravings. After 8 to 12 weeks, the nicotine replacement therapies can either be stopped all at once or titrated down and quit when comfortable. There are 7 frontline medications for smoking cessation approved by the FDA. These include the over-the-counter nicotine products, the patch gum and lozenge, and prescription medications, including the nicotine inhaler, the nicotine nasal spray, bupropion, and varenicline, also known as Zyban and Chantix. These products often have brand names and store brand options. The nicotine gum and nicotine lozenge come in either 2 mg or 4 mg doses and come in a variety of flavors. Notice how the nicotine inhaler at the bottom left kind of looks like an e-cigarette. Although it doesn't heat the liquid nicotine, it does provide a nicotine delivery service for the purposes of smoking cessation, and this is an FDA-approved strategy, unlike electronic cigarettes. Federal laws restrict the purchase of tobacco products to age 21 and older. Unfortunately, this has been misinterpreted by retailers, including some pharmacies, to include the sale of over-the-counter nicotine replacement therapy. NRT is still available by prescription and is the current recommended treatment for people aged 12 and older who are addicted to nicotine. Finally, as mentioned earlier, to achieve abstinence from nicotine dependence to any of these nicotine delivery systems, single treatments are good, but the combination of counseling and medications can provide the most effective approach. For more information and treatment options, here are some resources. Thank you for your time. Here's my contact information if you have any questions. I would like to also thank my co-authors listed here. Here's the slide again that has a video that shows you how we study the toxicants in vaping. Click on the link below circled in red.